be the Riot podcast.
It is Talk Like a Pirate Day, which we have not celebrated in a long time, nor are we really celebrating it today. It's just there's something that makes it in the news, which you'll hear in the podcast.
Actually, if you want to know what we're celebrating a slow news day. That's what we're celebrating. And Talk Like a Pirate Day just happened to correspond with Slow News Day.
We talked about it because you'll hear again in this podcast a restaurant that is tied in with the day and the dessert that they're giving out, and that's the only reason why.
And it's the only restaurant that's doing anything for Talk Like a Pirate Day, which tells me that we may, now that we're down to one restaurant, it might be the last.
Last time for it.
It may be gasping its last. I don't know. Other things in the podcast, Donald and Hillary are still with us. Date night. Oh, no, that's yesterday. Sorry.
There's been another date night.
A good friend of ours is going bankrupt. The Emmys, did people
watch it? What's some of the numbers?
Looking right there. And some stuff on queso and us not being haters.
Seems like a great show.
So you guys have plenty to enjoy.
Please enjoy the podcast today. We love hearing from you. So anytime you want to send us a story or text us, 877-2-RADIO-U, or join us at Radio U Riot on Facebook. You can message us if you come across something you think we might like talking about.
And hey, while you're at Radio U Riot, if you haven't caught up yesterday, you may have heard us talking to Hudson and making Coca-Cola coffee. The video of that is there on Facebook, as is the latest Obadiah Plays for Destiny 2. And there may yet be another Obadiah Plays this week. I just got a code for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I have no experience with that whatsoever, but I think I might just stream from the beginning. Like, just whatever, right? Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, well, hey, you guys have a fantastic day, and we will see you in seconds.
The worst of the riot. Proof that you're already living in that dark future dystopia. Radio U.
And express your condolences.
What happened?
Well, you said, see if you want something for your birthday. So I
you were looking.
Went over to Toys R Us only to find out that...
Oh, it doesn't mean anything, though.
They're okay, it does. They're filing for bankruptcy, which, no, that doesn't mean the store's closing. But... that is a dear friend that is having a problem.
I know, but...
I like going to Toys R Us.
But do you buy a lot, or do you just like looking?
I just like to look, which
That's exactly why they're in their position.
Listen.
That's 100% the reason why.
Nikki, I don't need any more toys.
No, you don't.
Okay? I don't. I have enough toys, and in fact, I had to put a moratorium, on buying toys.
So that led to their bankruptcy. You're the reason why.
Yeah, for real.
Well, that and the one time I had to get a gift for somebody there, it was a mess. So it was a literal mess.
But that was like your online pickup experience,
which
right?
was supposed to make my shopping experience easier. And again, to quote, it was a mess. So I don't know.
Toys R Us, guys.
Oh, it is what it is.
They say it's a victim of the online shopping industry. I will tell you, I did some Christmas shopping at Toys R Us. Was that like a year or two ago, whatever, and they had a thing where they, like, you walk in and the general manager is there with his sleeves rolled up and he's sweating and he's like, I don't care what Amazon costs, I'm matching it. It was just like,
okay, sir, we'll just go ahead and shop here then.
He's pacing in front of the store like, I will match Amazon,
you do not.
Son.
Every time you get your phone out to like price check something to see how it is compared, he rushes you and just slams you to the ground like, no.
That and 10% off.
Okay, that's the best I can do. Now get to the register.
Now buy something.
So their bankruptcy, I'm assuming it's a type where like they're not going to probably go anywhere, but they just can't pay what they owe.
Exactly that. Bankruptcy protection. And again, they say that it's because, hey, the online industry is killing them. It is, though, right? Because, like, how lazy am I? If there's a toy I want, I'm not going to Toys R Us for it. I'm going to just order it and wait for somebody to bring it to me.
Highlight that if you don't know what you're looking for, then you need to go there and then make the experience nicer so that you actually end up buying it there.
So toy discovery.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is harder to do online for some things.
I don't know where Best Buy is on the whole like profit loss scale, but I don't know what they did like a couple years ago, but Best Buy has turned into a store that I used to mock, and now I go in and shop. Like
now they need to then go grab someone from there.
I buy my games from Best Buy. I do. I joined their gamers club, and they've got good deals on trade-ins. Like, they do all this kind of incentivizing stuff that has got me in there, and I am embarrassed to say, as a result, I've bought other things in there. And I knew what was happening. I knew what they were doing.
Now, Toys R Us could brush up on some of that stuff, and then maybe it'll help.
Hey, I need to get two of my good retail friends together.
See what can happen.
Toys R Us and Best Buy, you guys need to have a summit.
We need a better us.
Two important parts of my lives: my Blu-ray video game provider and my toy provider, sitting together at the table.
You're not buying toys from there. You're just looking.
You're right.
So it's not something in your life.
But I need them to stay in business, so I have a place to go look. So I won't buy toys.
Look but never buy.
The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do, ever.
Now, since I'm on the subject of my birthday, and I'm still shopping, not finding anything, but I'm still shopping. Look, Ghost in the Shell's on sale. I wanted to see that again.
Well, that's an option.
That's an option.
I don't feel like that is exactly it, but keep looking.
Keep looking.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like that might just sit on your Blu-ray shelf.
Don't get me a Toys R Us gift card.
Okay.
Please. So where were we? Oh, I remember last year for my birthday, I had this thought that, remember the presidential election? It's been almost a year, guys. And my thought was this: man, I'm so tired of hearing about Trump and Clinton, and it'll be so exciting that we're going to hit a point where we're only going to have to hear about one of them.
Sure.
All right. At the very least, no matter who gets elected, we're only going to have to hear about one of them.
I totally remember you saying that. You were so excited. You're like, hey, it'll be over soon, because the election stuff was so intense.
It can only last so long. Like, it's got to end. It's got to whatever. I mean, I knew people that stayed up all night. They called off work. They were literally sick from the election. That is just how much stress and anxiety that was piled on. And now, guess what? It's September, it's a year later, and my entire news feed is full of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
Still.
What the heck,
now,
guys?
With Hillary Clinton, that's never gone away, but now it's super enhanced because of the book.
Oh, gosh.
You're right. You should have, if Facebook really wants to do something amazing, for the other people who want this, they should have an off button for all political stuff. It's like it'll take it away from your feeds.
And I mean, let's be clear. I'm not advocating sticking your head in the sand or whatever, but okay. And I would feel the same way. This is not a partisan thing, but Hillary lost and she's out making money on the loss. That's what we do in America, by the way. That's capitalism at its finest. You go out, you do the book circuit, and you commit a crime, you write a book, you make $1 billion.
Speak at a few events, and you're done. There, you've made enough money.
You lose an election, you write a book, you make $1 billion. Like, that's America. I get it. But if I could just, for my birthday, if I could just...
So let's plan on Thursday, all right, everybody? No one does any political posts, no shares, no nothing. You could do it on Thursday.
Because, no matter who you voted for, 3 more years. 3 more years. But, I mean, what, are we going to start campaigning next year? Is it too soon? Let's campaign now. Can you campaign 3 years in advance?
It'll just never end.
Oh, my gosh. It was supposed to end. It was supposed to just be one of them, and it's still both. Why is it still both? Why?
I'm sorry, OBs.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Man, let's talk about bummer time. Bummer time! I just found out that not only did... the Olive Garden instant pasta pass happened last week.
Yeah.
But they sold out immediately.
I thought I sent it to you last week.
Man.
Or maybe it was was it last week you were in Orlando or the week before?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I thought it was around that time because they were also doing this thing where you could win a trip to Italy or something for a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure you're gonna get the Olive Garden version of Italy.
Yes.
They're gonna be like Italy, South Dakota, where we make all of the food that you love right here from Italy.
It's all in the small print,
Dude, they sold 22,000 unlimited pasta passes.
I wonder if they can look at the pasta pass as being like the moment that Olive Garden had a hint of coming back.
You mean like this is their thing?
Yes, meaning like they were having a difficult time as a restaurant, and this kind of revitalized at least a portion of the year.
I will say, like, I feel like Olive Garden is overpriced for what I get. Or it could be that
your order might make it overpriced.
Could be, or it could be that my expectations, maybe they're in the wrong place.
That's true. That is true.
Maybe I'm just like, why is this burger $8? I'm going to Olive Garden. Why is this plate of white flour $14? It's white flour. I can buy a 50-pound bag for $5. What are you doing?
If you have a pass and you can eat all that you want, then maybe it's a little better.
I'm a lot of fun at parties. So the pasta pass, $100, and it's all you can eat for, is it 6 weeks? Let's see, how long does that go on? The first 50 to purchase did receive a trip to Italy for a $200 total.
I don't know. I didn't find it. I couldn't figure it out. It wasn't $200 for a trip. I think you were able, like, you weren't just like, oh, here, I'm going online and putting it in my cart. I think it was a lottery sort of system.
Oh, okay. Well, I will tell you that these $100 passes definitely get you 2 months of quote unquote free pasta. They say that you have to really go a lot, to hit the breaking point. You figure $10 a visit, you've got to go 10 times.
Well, I think if you only had a couple of classes a day, like, you could really make this card work for you if you didn't have a 9-to-5 job. You could really do some damage during the day.
Unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks, as well as unlimited servings of pasta, sauces, and toppings. Okay, now by toppings, do we mean meat? Probably not, right?
Maybe.
I'll tell you if it's meat.
Has anybody gotten a pasta pass?
I can tell you right now that if it's meat, I want one of those passes. I want to spend the rest of my life eating it.
Trying to get one?
Yeah, because you just keep piling the chicken on there, son. Just go on right there. You know what? Let's get a meatball, too. Go on back there, get you a couple meatballs, bring them out.
Roll it on out.
Roll it on out here.
I'll take one of those.
Do you think they bring you like a small bowl of pasta?
Yes, because they know that you're going to go for several versions of it, and they're just going to help you pace yourself.
The last time I went to Olive Garden, they were having their unlimited pasta bowl or whatever, and it's like $10, $12, and yes, you have to pay if you want protein. Can't call it meat. It's protein. So I decided I wanted some protein, and they brought it out, and I had already made up my mind, like, all right, whatever happens, you have to get into the second bowl. You must, no matter what, you must get into the second bowl. You have to. And I did, and there was a guy next to us, like table next door there. That guy it was like going to the wing buffet with us. He was ordering pasta, and then when he would get his pasta, his order was in for the next bowl.
Oh, yep, that's it.
Count it, Nikki. 5 different times.
That man's doing it the right way.
And let's be clear, I was getting up and leaving. He was still eating. Man, I think I want some
pasta.
Yeah.
You know what I want?
What?
The wing buffet. Because you just said that.
Because I said it?
You said it. Now that has to happen.
Oh, man.
Your morning, but without yelling, laughing, or music.
Don't deprive me of that.
We wouldn't dream of it. It's the Riot on Radio U.
The initial numbers are in. If you looked at the Emmys and you were like, I don't even whatever, then you're right in the meaty part of the curve.
Because no one else was watching it either?
Because they are saying that the Emmys' initial ratings show an all-time low. Fewer people watched the Emmys than ever. Now, here's what I seriously love is when they start rolling out the excuses. They're like, well, a lot of people in Florida didn't have power.
Oh, don't.
I'm not kidding.
That's not what they're saying.
It's right there.
That's not what they're
in
saying.
Black and white.
No.
A lot of people in Florida don't have power.
Emmys, here's what it is, okay? A lot of us don't watch broadcast TV.
Fair enough.
You are still new in acknowledging non-broadcast shows.
Well, they're, Hulu one, Nikki. That's your favorite?
We feel like that was more political, and you ignored some of the actual standout shows.
Stranger Things.
So that's an option as well. And I feel like when you watch an award show, if you're not in, then you just can't keep along with it,
Yeah. Well, I didn't really keep up. We should have done? We should have Josh on. Josh is the biggest.
But Josh likes it, so he likes TV.
But that's the thing is maybe Josh could help us appreciate.
We don't like TV.
Well, we like some TV.
No, we have a bad attitude with it.
All right, you're right.
It doesn't mean it's a wrong attitude.
And I want to take the Emmy people and rub it in their nose like, see, nobody watched your show.
Do you understand? You must change.
Nobody liked your show anyway.
Well, I mean, even for me, I knew what they were going to go with for all the jokes and the humor and all that stuff. And so, I mean, it just felt like you didn't even need to watch it.
I don't know. You know what? I treat the Emmys like I do a presidential address. I get the notes in the morning.
Next day?
It's like, all right, I'll read this. It took me 5 minutes.
You watch the highlights and you're done.
That's kind of it. It's too long. It's like 4 hours of self-congratulatory nonsense. And so I don't tune in for it. And I mean the Emmys, not a presidential address.
And not our show.
Yeah, not us. Obviously not us.
Not this show.
That's not the one. But
yeah, but that's
I know
all right.
some people like it. If you like it, keep liking it. You know, Josh, I think like Josh loves it. So he's great to talk to. I love to hear people talk about the things they love. So listening to Josh talk about the Emmys, I'm sure that would have been fascinating and we would have all loved it and slept better because of it. But
we did not. So therefore we're not. And we're not going to watch it.
Yep. So numbers were down, and it looks like, as I said, probably an all-time low, which, by the way, this is a trend for them. This would be a 3-year low. Like, it's been trending down, but then they have found they found the ground floor, and they're digging the basement.
They're still going down.
Yeah, so they're working on that.
That goat farm is looking more and more likely every day. It's the worst of the riot.
So, man, a month ago, we talked about this really cool-looking pop-up bar that was in Chicago. And it's true that Nikki and I are a little more pop-up restaurant than bar, but the theme is what got our attention. And it was a Stranger Things pop-up. And we just assumed that it was obviously something that Netflix was doing.
Well, it seemed pretty well done. Like it had the partnership hand in hand with Netflix.
Yes.
But we wondered because if not, that would not be legal.
And it wasn't legal.
It was not a partnership.
It was not.
How would they think that no one would know? Like they wouldn't find out.
Well, and especially it got picked up
everywhere.
Everyone was talking about that. Maybe only for a day, but certainly enough to be a blip on Netflix's radar. And they finally did. So they sent them a cease and desist order.
Sure.
And let me read it to you. Look, I don't want you to think I'm a total wasteoid, and I love how much you guys love the show. Just wait until season 2. But unless I'm living in the upside down, I don't think we did a deal with you for this pop-up. You're obviously creative types, so I'm sure you can appreciate that it's important for us to have a say in how our fans encounter the worlds we build. We're not going to go full Dr. Brenner on you, but we ask that you please, 1, not extend the pop-up beyond its 6-week run ending in October, and 2, reach out to us for permission if you plan to do something like that again.
How nice are they? That is way nicer than they should have been.
That's a hearts and minds kind of thing.
That was
they're letting it run its 6-week run, yeah.
That's like they understand that that's their fans, so they don't want to hurt them too much, but way to go. That was very diplomatic.
This is something that a lot of companies could really learn from right there.
Yeah, because they totally could have sued them.
Yeah, and they didn't, right?
And they could have, though, because that would have been still right. That is their show.
Well within their legal rights to force them to stop immediately, to sue them for proceeds. You know, there are all kinds of things that they could have done. And instead, they say, we don't want you to think we're a total wasteoid.
Aww. I thought when you said how they should contact them for if they want to do something in the future, I thought you were going to say, like, contact them to make a payment because they owe them money.
Well, I mean, they're
way to go, Netflix.
Probably paying $11.99 a month. Like, isn't that enough?
Nope, not apparently.
You got to pay tax on it, too, so it's like 12 something.
That was very nice. Very, very, very nice.
Yeah. Who does that? Like, be that nice. But again, they know it's smart because here's what Netflix has done. They know that they couldn't have made that much money getting a percentage of that whatever.
You're almost to October anyways. Let it go.
Look at all the free publicity that we played into by telling this story. Dang it. They played us like a harp, Nikki. But listen to our sweet sounds.
You've got to hand it to Obadiah and Nikki. Anyone can eat junk food all day.
Where's my food?
but they've figured out a way to get paid for it. The Riot on Radio U.
So today is International Talk Like a Pirate Day.
We've not done that for quite some time.
I know. There is an element of it was a thing and now maybe it's not as much a thing, but
I think it also just turned into work. Like, just talk like a pirate day. That's a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm. So I do have some suggestions that if you decided that you wanted to participate
what to do
in Talk Like a Pirate Day, phrases that you could use. Blow me down. Avast ye. That means look. So, avast ye yon cup of coffee.
So look at the cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm. Heave ho.
Get going.
Like, put your back into it. Pillage means to rob or plunder. Savvy. Do you understand? So I'd be like, Nikki, it's my birthday. Savvy?
I'd be like, yes, sir, I understand.
There she blows. That's only if you see a whale.
It's a whale term.
Shiver me timbers. OMG.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Scallywag. It's a mild insult.
Sure.
You scurvy scallywag. Now, scurvy, of course, is a very serious disease that would suffer
back
by,
then.
naval shipgoer peoples,
and then
sailors.
I remember, like, the only cure was limes or something citrusy.
That's why they called them limeys.
Mm-hmm.
Had to get a little mix in there. Let's see, hornswoggle, which means to cheat. I want to use that today. In fact, forget everything else.
Just focus on hornswoggle.
I want to be on the phone with somebody and be like, no, you're not trying to hornswoggle me, are you? I want to.
Okay, so if your phone rings today and it's one of those spam phone calls, see it through and then use that phrase in there and see if they say anything. It's worth it, isn't it?
It's perfect.
Wait, it's hornswoggle?
Listen here, you scallywag. You're not trying to hornswoggle me, are you?
You can get more than one into a sentence.
Okay, I like that. Landlubber, someone who doesn't know how to sail. All right, it's getting boring. So you get the idea. This is a long list of sea dog terms.
Well, there's a lot of nautical things.
There is. Now, back in the day, there was freebies that you could find on Talk Like a Pirate Day. I want you to know that you can't go to Krispy Kreme this year and get a free donut.
Did they do that the first year or something?
They've done it for a few years, actually. The only place that I can find that is offering any kind of a discount for Talk Like a Pirate Day is if you go to Long John Silver's.
Oh, really? That's who's doing it?
And if you go in there and you use your favorite pirate phrases, you can get a free deep-fried Twinkie.
Today? That's actually not bad.
Deep-fried Twinkie?
Yeah, I'll do
I
that.
didn't even know they had those
I did not
at
know
Long
that
John
either.
Silver. Are
Is
you
that
kidding
an official
me?
thing?
You're not trying to hornswoggle me, are you?
Oh, you scallywag.
See? Done. Listen, I'll participate for a free deep-fried Twinkie. And if that's like, well, with purchase, I'm not getting any
I think
food
I like
there.
their hush puppies, too.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, and a plank of, like, a chicken or fish variety.
Are ye scurvy scallywag walking the plank? Give me my free deep-fried Twinkie.
I don't see it on their menu.
Unless you're trying to hornswoggle me out of me booty.
See, got a lot in there.
Booty. Yep, that's another good one.
So new Hostess deep fried Twinkies are there.
Nikki.
And deep fried Twinkies, like, that's better if you're at a place that actually has a deep fryer.
I know, but you know what? It's going to taste like fish. You're like, I love this fish-flavored deep-fried Twinkie.
I think they assume you already just ate fish, so that taste would be in your mouth anyways.
I always feel like when I'm going to Long John Silver's, I'm being punished. Seriously, I do.
I always feel like when there's pirate stuff and I'm on a boat, I'm being punished.
I mean, like Long John Silver's, Captain D's, basically anywhere they're serving fish.
You just don't like fish, though.
I don't. I hate them. They're... You know what? Never mind.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Today is the day, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, iOS 11.
Woo!
And I'll tell you what, I'm so excited I can barely handle it.
He doesn't have an iPhone, so he doesn't care.
It doesn't really matter. So what about you? Nikki, don't act like you didn't get excited.
I am looking forward to it, but Eric's had it for a while, the beta one, and he's had some bugs with his. So
Really?
we're going to go into it with a new mentality that his is not what I'll be downloading today.
Well, it doesn't matter because you're what, like a month or two away from a new phone?
Hopefully so.
An iPhone Extreme?
10.
iPhone Extreme.
10.
I'm calling it the Extreme.
I know you
'cause
are, and
that's
every
what it
time
is.
you say it, I will correct you. It's a
That's
10.
fine. So
that is coming out, and hopefully I've sold one thing. That's about it.
How much did you get for the thing you sold?
$55.
And you want the 256 gig version?
I know I have a lot of money to go. I know I do. In like 6 weeks.
Okay, is that one $1,200?
Probably.
Okay, so that means you only have $1,150 to go.
But the guy, I think I get a free iPad with it for something. So if I sell that, so let's take a couple hundred off. Let's just think about that.
The problem with that...
I'm saying like 1,000. If I at least come up with 1,000, I should be fine.
The problem with getting that iPad is that iPads aren't worth what they used to be.
Yeah, that's why I'm only going to take a couple hundred off of it. So if I raise $1,000 by the time the iPhone X10 comes out, then I think I should be good.
So, you know what? That means we both want X's in November. You want an iPhone X. I want an Xbox One X.
You're right. Yes, that's what we've got going on.
I'm telling you, Nikki, X is the new hotness.
It is. It just means we have to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to get a new Xbox One.
Not going to try to trade everything in?
You know what? I've tried that where you just shove everything on the table. Like, all right, we're all
this is all in. Put your car keys in there.
Yes, like, there you go. And
it's a lease, but you only get 1 month with it.
And I don't think I'm going to do that. Now, of course, see me in mid-November when I have...
It all changes when it comes out.
When I've saved all my birthday money and sold a few things, and all of a sudden I'm like, well,
I'm
maybe.
only $600 away. Like, you try to make it seem like it's okay.
Well, Nikki, the
Xbox is not as expensive as the
$500.
iPhone 10.
So, I mean, I could buy 2 Xbox One X's and an Xbox One S for the cost of your phone, which just shows you that I want the dumber things in life. Nikki's the one that has the real fine taste.
No, we will. We'll see what happens. We have some time.
Well,
we have time.
Today's the day. iOS 11, it features 3D animated emojis, 16 new wallpaper options.
Oh, boy!
And the Apple Pay Cash person-to-person money transfer.
Yeah! Who's been looking forward to that?
That's built into iOS 11, but not yet.
As I make money, cash-to-cash, person-to-person, it can come to me.
As I'm selling things, they can just pay my iPhone.
Send that right on over.
Well, what else do you have to sell? Hey, guys, we're going to have a Nikki auction up in a few minutes. What do you got? You got...
I really don't have much else to sell. I mean, I would sell this phone, so I would probably get some cash for that.
How much do you think you get out of your gently used iPhone 7 Plus?
I mean, we're talking it's just a year old.
Okay.
I don't know.
200, 300, 400?
I really need to sell it before the 10 comes out, but I can't go without a phone. So what if I borrow? It becomes a big thing. I'll figure it out later.
Wait, no, I want to hear. You're going to borrow?
No, I could borrow if I wanted to. I could sell this now for more money and then borrow a gently used whatever and then use that until the 10 comes out.
A gently used Android phone?
No, I'd have to still stay
Android
with Apple.
phones are practically free these days.
No, I would still stay with an iPhone.
I want to see you in an Android phone.
Why?
Because you'll just come in here every day and be like, this phone sucks.
No, I just don't. It's not an operating system I'm used to.
Sure.
It's just different. They're not wrong. It's just different.
It's just different. Listen how mature Nikki is.
The Riot talks about wanting a day off, but when do we get a day off from them?
Boo! You suck at this!
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
There's been a lot of food talk around here because there's just a lot of food floating around. I got 2 bags full of candy over here we haven't even touched.
We do. We need to do another Riot food fight. Yesterday we did one for Coca-Cola coffee. So if you want to see us make that, that's available at Radio U Riot on Facebook and YouTube.
So you really do want to see that. Now, something you won't see us doing there, but I'm growing more and more curious about is Chipotle got the queso dip last week.
Oh, yes.
We didn't even talk about it.
No, because last time we talked about it was when they were thinking about doing it, and people were hoping that this Chipotle queso dip would make you fall in love again with Chipotle and like not have worried feelings about getting sick.
Yeah.
Because that really did some damage to their company.
I don't feel like the reaction has been, like, it hasn't been overwhelmingly negative, but it hasn't seemed like some crazy positive reaction either.
Well, it hasn't. I haven't seen it in my feed with anybody of
really?
I'm going to Chipotle getting queso. I haven't seen one thing.
Okay, I've got to tell you, big difference between who you and I follow, because over the weekend, it seemed like everybody I knew was at Chipotle eating queso. Like, it was everywhere.
Nope, you're the first to remind me that it finally came out.
Though I'll say that I heard middling to negative reviews.
What was the thing?
Well, they just...
Meaning, what was the reason why they didn't like it?
They just didn't think it was that good. Like, that it was just okay. Now, I think part of that, quite honestly, is that I think expectations may have been a little too high.
Sure. Here's the article for one. Chipotle slides as customers turn up noses at cheese dip.
Oh.
And they were really wanting you to like it.
Oh, look, here's somebody I don't follow on Twitter, but she says Chipotle's queso is the biggest disappointment of 2017.
Really?
I got to tell
guess.
you, I disagree with that.
It's probably not the worst thing.
But, let's see. Hey, Chipotle, if you strive for fresh ingredients for customers, why is your queso this gross powdered crap?
Yeah, they say complex and slightly spicy. No one's really going for it.
Yeah, the reaction to it has been pretty negative. I don't know. Haven't tried it. I mean, what's Qdoba? That's like the other Chipotle that we will sometimes hit up, and their queso's pretty good.
Walk with me when Chick-fil-A had their queso dip, their white cheese dip.
That was delicious.
Put that on their waffle fries. Like, I like a very bland cheese dip. I don't like the spicy queso.
Sure.
But I just like the bucket of like that one cheese, and that works.
I'll tell you this. If you want to experience the best queso in the entire world, hands down, you have to travel to Nashville, Tennessee to the San Antonio Taco Company. I kid you not. They only have one location left. It's on Vanderbilt's campus.
That's a queso right there.
But in fairness, that downtown location, like, there's not a lot in downtown, really. Well, okay, there's Music Row. There is, but people weren't going there.
Yes.
But I'll tell you this, that queso, to die for.
No, it's not nationwide. So.
It's not. It's only available in Nashville, Tennessee.
Small, tiny location.
That's where I want my birthday lunch.
We're not going to Nashville for your birthday lunch, Obi.
Why not?
I shouldn't have. Now, I know we say we can go anywhere for our lunch and you can pick, but I think they mean within the state.
You were about to say I shouldn't have to tell you why.
Yeah, actually, I was about ready to say that.
Like, I heard you got halfway through that sentence.
I shouldn't have to tell you that we can't go to Nashville.
I shouldn't have to tell you that we're not taking you to Nashville for lunch.
We shouldn't have to say that in your birthday lunch picking, you cannot go outside of the state that we're in.
And, you know, this comes down to one of those things where I might be able to get them to make an exception for me, and then the next thing you know,
everybody wants
to go to Nashville for lunch.
And that's a very long lunch time.
Yeah.
David, thank you for texting in nonstop and online from his friends about it. And people have been mentioning that certain Chipotle stores tasted bad, maybe compared to others.
Well, you know what? Sometimes when they're starting something new,
there's a learning curve with it.
There is a learning curve. Like after a week or two, you go in and it's a little better. It's almost worth waiting when something's new to see if they can
actually get it right.
Yeah, it's like, do you microwave it for 15 seconds or 18 seconds? They got to figure that out.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I want to clear up some misconceptions regarding the riot. Some people think, and you know, not everybody, but some people may think, man, you guys are just a bunch of haters. That's all it is. Everything that comes out. You don't like the queso, you don't like the this, you don't like the that.
There's plenty of stuff we like.
Let me tell you what. Every time something new is coming out, I am rooting for it.
Sure.
Because think about this. All right. Like, for example, people get with brand loyalty. Whatever it is you like better. You like your Android better than iPhone. You're like, I hate the iPhone. It's going to suck. Pause. No. You got to understand, you should root for the iPhone to do well, because then when it's time for you to get a new Android phone, they're going to be like, well, we should steal as many features from the iPhone as we can for this Android.
We must make it better. That helps everybody. Everybody wins.
Like when a product succeeds, in general, I'm not saying this is true of everything. There are plenty of examples that we could dig up, and we would be haters about not hating. But you understand what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying.
If a new show comes out, I hope it's good.
I have a problem, though, when we see the politics and the stuff behind the item and it being sold to you in a way that's not very honest.
So
that I don't like.
100%. Part of the problem is that I feel like we've gotten just enough of a peek behind the curtain where you're like, man,
it's pretty bad back there.
Forget it. Just forget it. But like, for example, like that new Star Trek show is going to run Sunday night. And hey, I don't think it's going to be that good. But I would like for it to be good. What if it's good?
Could be good.
What if Chipotle queso was good?
Could be.
Wouldn't it be great if it was good? That'd be great. I love good things.
You're asking for a lot, though.
What? You just...
I think, again, sometimes we want you to lower all expectations. So when you go in, you're like, oh, it's not so bad.
Well, it's good. What a surprise. I don't know. I'm just telling you right now that the Riot, we're not just a bunch of haters. I am actively rooting for things to be good. But I feel like, as your friend, I have to be honest with you when I look at something and go,
yeah, hang on.
I'm not sure. Now, I'm probably wrong more than I'm right when it comes to things. There have been things where I'm like, this is going to be terrible, and it's amazing.
Could be good. Do you think you're going to watch the Star Trek thing on Sunday?
Absolutely.
You're going to give it the first episode a try?
I'm certainly going to record it, and I will try to have it watched before we come in on Monday. But there's something about that show that doesn't feel right to me. Like
it's like a bad queso.
I'm just telling you, like when I look at it, there's something about it that I just go, you know what? Something about this doesn't feel right.
We've been along for the ride with all of the pushbacks and the casting stuff and all the problems that they've had, that it's hard for you to step out of that and just be someone who's watching the TV show who didn't know all the drama.
Yeah, and you know what? It's just like that queso. When they said they had queso last week, I was like, you know what? I'll bet you that's not that good. And it's because there is an enormous gap between what people are expecting and what they could possibly deliver. What they could possibly deliver on a mass scale.
We've always said this. We're realists, okay? That's it. And we apologize or don't apologize.
That's what people say.
We're not haters. We're realists.
That's what people say. You know what a realist is? It's a hurt optimist.
Boy, that's so sad,
it's someone
isn't it?
That dreamed
that
big.
Is spot on.
It's someone that dreamed big.
Spot who's got their feelings hurt.
And you get disappointed enough, and you're like, all right, look.
Well, now we just know how it really is.
How do they got to get the cheese to the stores? It's powdered, right? Then they're going to add one. I mean, do you know that, for my birthday lunch, 4 or 5 years ago, we went to one of my favorite places to eat. And one of my favorite things is they have this cheese soup.
You love that soup.
I love that soup. And the manager asks me how it is, and I was like, it doesn't seem quite right. He's like, oh yeah, it just comes in a can. We need to add more water. And I was just like,
really? Ripping the blinders off your eyes so you see.
You're telling me this just comes in a can? Why am I eating it? Why am I even here? I'm paying you to warm this up.
See, you were hurt, and it's a realist.
Do that at home.
The Riot. Turn it down. And rip the knob off. Radio U.
I love this. Here's an article that is all about the ways that your public gym, where you're working out, that you could be killing yourself.
Oh, like getting sick from certain things?
That's exactly right.
What do they say?
Well, they say, here are some steps that you need to take. You need to bring your own yoga mat.
Well, I would assume that. Just in case.
You know what? I'm guilty of just using the mat to stretch on.
Yes, but maybe if you were talking the mats in a yoga class, ones that were constantly used over and over again. Yeah, maybe your stretching mat's not used as much.
The other side of that too is no offense, ladies, but I got to tell you, I'm working out in some pretty baggy clothes. I'm not in my cropped sports bra and my tight shorts.
But you are sweating a lot.
I'm sweating a lot.
Do you wipe it down when you're done with it?
Absolutely, I do.
Then that's fine.
Absolutely, I do.
That's what they're encouraging.
So I go over to the little station that's almost always out of paper towels and stuff, and then you have to go find one that's not, and then you come back and you wipe it down, and then sometimes someone has already taken that spot, and you're like, hey
wait a
I
minute.
would have wiped it down, but you know what? Since you've got my sweat all over you, let's just hug. It's cool, right?
But they're saying that is a area of germs.
Mm-hmm. How about this one? Always wear shoes in the shower and locker room.
Really? Flip-flops or something? Mm-hmm. Or something a bit bigger?
Well, I always wear flip-flops. In fact, I've got it worked out where I stand on, as I'm taking my shoes off or whatever, my feet never touch the floor.
ground. That's probably safe.
Because, you just don't want to. They also say never use hot tubs or saunas in public gyms.
Oh.
No?
Well, there is one. We have the community center down here, and it has a nice hot tub.
It does.
So I don't know where the line is. I think that one's fine. But if your gym's a bit shady, maybe not.
I feel like my gym used to be owned by somebody, and now they're LA Fitness. And I feel like they clean, but their heart's not in it.
It's not at home.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe not even that.
I know they're cleaning. I see them cleaning.
Sure.
But I don't see them cleaning, like the Pope or somebody is coming. It's just I
understand. You're not the only first person to say that.
I'm moving this mop back and forth. If it gets something, it gets something. best of luck on that one. They also say disinfect your workout equipment before you touch it. Dude, okay, like I'm not wiping down they want me to wipe down the barbell before
you use it?
Yeah, or I'm not doing that.
Will you work out in gloves or anything?
No.
Maybe that makes it better.
Yeah, fingerless gloves.
Maybe.
They got little spikes on them.
No, it's not a dance party in there.
No, I don't work out in gloves. Though the people in these photos do, but I'll just tell you, I've never seen anyone at my gym wearing gloves.
Could be if you're more nervous about germs, maybe that'd be helpful.
That'd be a thing. I mean, I get it, but Nikki, I want some calluses.
You want it to show that you're working out?
And people are like, look at him. He works really hard when he sits around talking.
Just basically go with this. If you're touching something, disinfect it first and after. And don't go in the pool.
That should only add about 45 minutes to your gym
workout
time.
You're fine.
No big deal.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the Radio U network through the Radio U app or at riot.radiou.com.
One day, you and your phone will be one.